We're back inside the Spin Cycle, baby. DJ done launched the game. I got the producer extraordinaire, Reese Barnell.
We in it to win it today, boy. We in it to win it.
Just go for that on the spot, man. We in it to win it today, boy.
Hey, more like spin it to win it. You know, like Wheel of Fortune or something.
Hey, I understand. My brother. How's your holidays been?
Woo, busy. Man, I'm glad fall season is coming to almost close. We got a couple more things left and then get into Turkey Day and Christmas.
I want you to understand, people, when I said holidays, I didn't mean the holidays. I meant holidays after the official 2023, what you call it, wedding season rush.
Wedding rush.
Oh, my gosh, it's been crazy.
We don't have as much, it's not as seasonal as it used to be. It used to be really seasonal. Now it's more like busy season and then
busier season.
Extra busy season. So, yeah, glad we're finally taking a breath a little bit. We're only doing 1 or 2 things a week instead of 4 or 5. So, yeah, helps a lot.
You know what I realized during this time right now is that as a DJ and as an entrepreneur and somebody that handles their own affairs, that we need to spend more time taking care of our own mental, emotional, and physical health.
Preach to that.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, what do you really think about that? Like, as DJs, we don't really pay really good attention to that because we're always on the grind, always on the go, always trying to make the moves, make money. Like, mental health does slack from the kind of rigors of the job that we do, don't you think?
It does. It's hard to shut it off when you go home. You're always thinking about the next event or the previous event or marketing or, hey, did I make a post? Did I reach out to this bride? There's a million things to think about. And like a regular job, it's hard to punch a clock when you work for yourself.
Oh, yeah. You don't punch a clock. You punch a clock for yourself. The clock is you. Like, the clock is you, man. I mean,
yes.
I was just thinking, like, at the end of the day, when we get done with one event, no matter how great, good, whatever about that event, we're already thinking about the next one. Like, how do we get better for the next one? How do you get better? As a DJ or any type of wedding vendor, like, at any point, does it ever feel like you've got to the max? Can you ever get to the point where you feel like you've got to the point where you can't get any better?
I haven't. If there is someone out there that thinks they have, they're probably mistaken.
Yeah, I think they're lying. If they did ever feel like that, like, you always learn something different. You always get to the point where it's like, okay, I could have done this different. Oh, I could have adapted better at this. Or maybe I should have tried this. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if you're good at evaluating yourself.
Yeah.
You know, every wedding, every event, I try to think back how it went. Is there anything I could have done better? Can I just improve something? Could I have maybe changed the order of my songs, the mixes, the timings? I mean, there's always things, you know, that you look back and you go, you know, what if I had, I don't have regrets, but I always try to take what as a learning experience.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, there's plenty, because people are different. And, you know, we're there. We got one shot to nail it. And if we misread your crowd or we misread you or we didn't have that conversation where I got all the information I needed, you know, I may not understand your vibe until we get halfway through it.
Yeah.
And you go, now I know what's working for you guys. So it's a challenge sometimes. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just go in and rock a party and, you know, everything works out fantastic. But I think all in all, you know, if you look at the total picture, you know, everybody's coming to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we can overthink it. It's just because we want that next one to be better and the next one to be better and the next one to be better.
So is the goal. I saw something recently and it kind of piqued my interest. It said something along the lines of wedding DJs, we're like overrated, or, you know what I'm saying, we don't really do what club DJs do, so why did they get that much money or whatever, or something along those lines. You know, those, you know, we always have those rifts between groups of DJs or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, from a guy that's done clubs, mixtapes, radio, touring with artists, to now weddings, I'm going to go ahead and say this, people. Being a wedding DJ may have been one of the hardest type of DJing there is. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. But do you agree with me before I get into why I say that?
I haven't done those things, but I can already know where you're going.
All right, and the reason why I say this is because as a club DJ, you there for the club. The club is really the one that's, you know what I'm saying, drawing the crowd. The club is the one that's there. You just show up, do your gig, go home. You know what I mean? If you have a terrible night, you don't have to get fired in there. You have to do something really, really bad to lose your job at a club. You know what I'm saying? You do radio. Unless, barring you start using F-bombs on the radio, falling asleep on air, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something out this world.
You'd have to really mess up.
You have to really mess up. You're not really going to lose that job. I mean, because it's not really always about ratings. Everything's like rating. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? That's for big stations. But like a smaller station, now. And then doing mixtapes, it's just you in your studio doing mixtapes for artists. When you're touring with artists, that's another one. But you practice, you rehearse nonstop before you have a show. So you're prepared. With a wedding, you got to think about it. It's like it's a live production. Live on the spot with a bunch of new castmates every single show. Picture doing a TV show or some kind of movie or some kind of presentation where every single time you perform, you don't know who else is performing with you, and you don't know how it's going to go every single time. There's no rehearsal for this.
No, and it's not like there's a time delay, and if you mess up, you can edit it out.
Yeah.
Whatever happens on the spot, and everybody knows it if you made a mistake or an error.
They realize it quick, too. They can tell you when you make a mistake.
If there's a pause in the music, the pause till they give you the dirty look,
yes,
is like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no time to make errors, or if your mic drops out in the ceremony, you got half the congregation is going to turn around and look at you.
Yes.
You know, so because they already know you're in charge.
Yeah, again, stress the key word here: live production. One word: live production. Hey.
Yeah.
You hear the noise? Hey, live production.
I thought you was going to ski me for
No, that was it. I'm saving the ski for later.
Oh, okay.
Live production. And with a wedding,
you're talking about live production. You know, that's why they put those time delays on live TV now, because
you don't have that for weddings.
You know why? Because people do stupid stuff.
Yes.
And you go up, cut that. That's not going on the air. You know, a wedding, you don't get that luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you say a name wrong or you drop a song wrong or something, it's too late. Hopefully you got the personality and the charisma to pull it, to get out of that situation and move forward without ruining the rest of their day.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I can't understand why some couples or even people would even consider being a bridezilla or being a groomzilla or momzilla, because at the end of the day, you are planning something to have a performance with a bunch of castmates that don't work together every single day.
Right. And the more,
especially if you pick the castmates,
the more detail and the more that you expect of them, the more chances that something's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
The best weddings are my laid back couples are like, hey, look, I want a party. Here's some of my favorite songs. Just go in and do your thing.
Yeah.
Just crush it. The ones that sit back and they're analyzing everything you do, that centerpiece is crooked. This is not in the right spot. That's the wrong song. I don't like that song. I gave you 75 songs. You played the ones that I gave you. If they're constantly thinking about that, they're not thinking about having a good time. Right. They're too busy critiquing everything that they planned. So, I mean, you got to have plans. You got to have preparation. You got to have a schedule. You have to have certain things. But there's also an element of...
it's not going to stick to that schedule.
Of flow. You got to be able to adapt to the situation, because don't forget, it's not just us and the couple. It's...
photographer, caterer, coordinator,
everybody,
videographer,
150 guests,
florist,
and the guests. You got to manage around the guests.
Yeah.
What if they're slow getting where they need to be?
Makeup artist.
What if there's a line at the bar?
Shuttle bus.
Everything. Did you say shuttle bus? But there's so many things that have to flow together.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't go just like it's on the paper. This isn't a...
And one thing can throw that whole thing off.
One thing.
With a live production, you got to think, even the ones that's rehearsed, like plays or big broadcasts or whatever, they have a script. They have the same team, the same production team. They have the same cast members. Everybody doing the same thing every single day. And with a wedding, 9 times out of 10, the bride or the bride's mom picks out all the castmates.
Yeah.
So, and they're picking out castmates based on their interview, their whatever. But they're not picking them up based on, hey, you know, this, we don't know if these people work well together. We're going to, and tell me if I'm wrong with this. We're going with okay, this person fits well with us,
Yes.
but not fits well with the people they got to work with. You see where I'm going with that?
That can change the dynamic.
Exactly. Or, you know what? We really care about the food. I want to get this caterer. We really care about the venue. I'm going to get this venue. We really care about the photographer. Boom. Now, everything else we don't really care about. But guess what? You want your photography to look really good in the pictures. Everybody look happy. But your DJ sucks. Or you want your videographer to have the best content, but everybody is looking disgusted because the timeline doesn't flow because you had no coordinator. You had a friend of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Or the party's not popping off because your DJ's just not, he ain't vibing with everybody.
Yeah. He sucks. Can't read the crowd. He's playing your playlist that you gave him
So you
200 songs for.
Yeah, so you don't have those really dope dancing pictures because the dance party just didn't pop off,
That's,
you know. But I'm glad you said something about live performance. You know one thing about a wedding and a live performance like at a play or a production or going to see the orchestra or some kind of live, you know, setting, Broadway. You know what weddings have in common with those? They both have two things, a producer
yes.
and a director.
All right.
The producer is behind the scenes, making sure everything's set up, ready to go, making things lined up. You're here, set changes and all this stuff. The director is the person going, now, you do this. Go, keeping everything on time. Just like on the orchestra. Everybody's got music, so why do they really need a conductor? Because he ties it all together.
Yes.
But behind the scenes, there's also another person. So, but in a wedding, it's kind of the same thing. Who's behind the scenes? The coordinator. You don't really see them, but they back there putting out fires. They're making sure people are on time. They're making sure the dress is bustled. They're making sure the food's ready. They're making sure the cake has a knife.
Photographer don't hijack the timeline.
Right. But then most people don't understand the DJ is the director. We are the ones on the front line. We are the ones with the mic. We are the face of the producer. Like the producer's behind the scenes, the DJ is on the front side.
I never looked at it like that. We did
Yeah.
right there.
We're wedding directors are what we are. Did you realize that?
Dang, I never thought about that. So the coordinator would be like the stage manager, the producer. Like
She
you said.
behind the scene, he, she, they're the ones back there just keeping everything on flow. Well, we are the voice and the face of the coordinator. The coordinator's not out there telling people what to do. They ain't out there telling people the line goes this way. Hey, it's time to go cut the cake. Hey, introduce father-daughter dance. They're not the ones doing all that.
Yeah.
We are. But,
You're right.
but we couldn't do it without them.
No.
So we have to have, that has to be a tight team. So when your DJ and your coordinator are like this, it's just like that production. You got the producer backstage, you got the director out front, making sure stuff's going properly. And those are the things that tie it all in. That's what you get with a live production.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think people realize the significance of having a really, really good DJ, MC, master of ceremonies, and a great coordinator behind the scenes working all the angles, trying to make sure stuff is proper and ready to go. So, I mean, you can do without.
Yeah.
You could do without a coordinator, but you're just gonna make the DJ's job harder.
Really hard.
But you can't do without a good DJ MC if you don't have a coordinator. Here's the thing: if you don't have a coordinator and your DJ is not a good MC and a host, and he's just good at playing music,
Or playing your playlist by pressing play.
hey, let me hit the play on the button.
Yeah.
Then your wedding's not going to flow like a good production.
Yeah.
You know,
And we inside the Spin Cycle. This DJ Dudley Laundry, producer extraordinaire, DJ Reese Varnell. And we just wanted to get some stuff off our minds today. And we're just talking about the intricacies. Am I saying the right word? Intricacies. What was the word I'm looking for here?
intricacies.
Intricacies. I hope my wife didn't hear me say that.
Details.
She's an English teacher. She
Intricacies.
will get mad about that.
Yeah, well, you weren't
She will
here.
get mad about that.
You wasn't in her class. I
Exactly.
don't know where you was at in the 7th grade.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But we talk about the difficulties of being a wedding DJ, and I want you to understand this. Like I said, I've done every type of DJ there is, and I excel at all of them. I'm not gonna brag. It's no brag. No brag.
It was a little boast. We'll call it confidence.
I mean, you can Google it. You can Google it. That's what I'm gonna say. But all I'm trying to say right now is, at the end of the day, wedding DJs, it's really hard. I mean, it's in fact the hardest craft there is to DJing because everyone is different. Nothing is the same. Again, at the end of the day, a wedding is a wedding. Traditionally, the concept of the wedding is the same from wedding to wedding. But the day of an actual wedding is not the same as the wedding yesterday, the wedding next month,
Nope.
the wedding week after, the wedding 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I've never had a wedding that was similar to another wedding.
Have you ever sat down with a couple, made a wedding plan? You got it in your mind when you get there. This is pretty much how this wedding's going to go, and then when you get there, you're like, this wedding's not going to be like we think it's going to be. It's going to be different.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be different because you can see, and a lot of it has to do with maybe their wedding party is a lot more reserved than they thought they would be, and they're like, well, these guys aren't ready to party.
Yeah.
Or it could be the opposite. They go, well, we really don't expect them to dance, and then you look out there, and everybody's like fired up.
Yeah.
You're like, no, this is going to pop off. This is going to be a party. Well, now your expectations are out the window. Now you have to do what you're getting paid to do.
Yeah.
No, this is going to be a turn up.
But those are the easy ones.
Those are the easy ones,
What about the ones where you just have to really work? But I'm glad you said that for one reason, and one reason only. Most people don't understand or realize, like, as a DJ, we're still a performer. We're still an entertainer. We're there to do a job that's different to anybody else because we're front and center all night long. All right?
All night.
All night. Even though the bride and the groom is there, they don't want to be the center of attention, but they kind of want to be the center of attention, but they don't want to be the center of attention. Am I saying this the right way? They want to be, but they don't want to be, but they kind of want to be, but they really don't want to be.
They know they are going to be, but they don't want you. Most of them don't want you to overdo it.
Yes.
Now, I had some, they constantly wanting the attention. I need the spotlight.
Yeah.
I need the spotlight. Me.
Yeah.
But most of them are the opposite.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, I want to get married. I want to go around and see my people. I want to get out on the dance floor with all my friends around me. I really don't want you to call my name out. Don't constantly call me. Don't be like, hey, the bride this, the bride that. Just let me party and do my thing.
Yeah.
And that's most of them. And then you get the few exceptions, but
All right. Now, you just said that right there, right? Mm-hmm. So now, hear me out with this. You got the bride. You got the groom. You got the DJ. The DJ is supposed to be the MC, carrying the night and all that. As a performer, hear me on this. Tell me if I'm wrong. As a performer, we have our own little stuff that we need to get the job done or want to have to get the job done.
Okay.
So when you tell us before we show up, this is where we're going to be, and we get there and that's not where we're going to be, that already just threw our day off a little bit because we weren't prepared for that.
talking about like placement.
Yeah, like placement, you weren't prepared for that. So now you're like, okay, this wasn't what we discussed. Because, again, as a professional, you want to always be prepared. You always want to be ahead of the curve, a step above. We've discussed this on another podcast before.
Yes.
Where you want to always know where you at before you get there. You want to be mentally and physically prepared to do your job and do it well because, again, we're the face of that night.
We're the face.
Not the coordinator, not the couple.
No, they're behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're the face.
We're on the front line.
Let me tell you something. The DJ gets blamed for so much, man. If something happens, we get blamed. If the food didn't taste right, guess who gets blamed?
The DJ.
It didn't taste right because the food wasn't good.
It does happen.
I mean, I'm not making that up.
I had a guy come up. He goes, "Man, I don't like the food." I went, "Why in the hell are you telling me?"
Yeah, because you're the DJ. It doesn't taste good because your food ain't good. What? Wait, what?
He goes, "Don't y'all have some like gluten-free stuff?" I go, "Bro, I'm the DJ, man. I don't have no idea what they got back there."
Yeah.
Did you tell your couple that you needed gluten-free? I don't know.
Oh, I got one better. Oh, the photographer took too long on the pictures. DJ person came in and said, "Hey, it's your fault because you're killing time right now, improvising. We ready to go on to the next thing." Dude, the couple's not even here. How you want me to go on to something else? The couple's not even here. Oh, the cocktail hour is taking too long. What? How is that my fault?
Do you want me to go out and then smack the photographer?
I mean, seriously, like, oh, the wedding didn't start early. The bus didn't show up. Well, you up here just killing time talking. Like, what would you?
Do you think
do you
I'm
not
just-
want to know anything?
You think I'm just waiting because I want to? There's no bride, bro.
I mean,
Well, actually, the bride's there, but Aunt Margaret's on the bus.
Oh.
She coming from the hotel.
I got one even better. What about during the rehearsal the day before, they change stuff for the ceremony and don't tell you, and then you're like, wait, what? And you don't know what happened,
I hope there's
and
liquor
you
in
get
it.
blamed for something you didn't know about. Has that ever happened? I'm just saying.
That's liquor. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, let me tell you what happened. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do 2-3 weddings a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We like to have our plans done 72 hours before the event.
72.
It's all printed, prepped, all the playlists are ready, everything's ready. So all we have to do is just move your playlist up, all your reception songs, everything. Did I say everything? Everything's done.
Like 100 times.
All your prep. Then they have the rehearsal. I got a wedding on Saturday. I ain't really got time to talk to you about your Sunday wedding. I get a text message. Hey, we're gonna change the walk down song. This is like 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I'm getting ready to go set up at Howe Farms or somewhere, and I get a text message from a coordinator. Hey, we went ahead and changed, and we added another song to the walk down. We just didn't feel it was long enough. And then they're going to do a candle lighting. Could you play something in there? And then afterwards,
was this 72 hours ago?
And we're like, do not text me these changes while I'm at somebody else's wedding. It's just, A, it's not fair. B, you're just asking for a mistake. And then if we do mess up, whose fault is it?
It's a DJ's fault.
It's a DJ's fault.
It's always the DJ's fault.
This happens. It happens a lot. It doesn't really happen with experienced coordinators, the ones that tell the bride, no, you can't change this because the DJ's already ready for your day and it's too late and he's at another wedding and I can't get a hold of him. Woo! Okay, you show up on wedding day. Oh, by the way, we changed the toast. Fine. I'll just scratch Uncle Billy off. That's easy.
That's
But
easy
when you
stuff.
start changing music and flow and who's walking with who,
Especially the ceremony. Especially the ceremony.
because you have one shot at the ceremony. One. And if you mess up that,
I'm glad you said that.
you mess up that ceremony, even if it's not your fault,
But what part? Okay, so I'm glad you said that because this is what I'm thinking right here.
man, you get me fired up.
And in the ceremony, on a wedding day, there is maybe 1 or 2 opportunities that you can mess up, and the bride will literally be so enraged, like you would have to do 100 things to get her back down. One, and tell me if I'm wrong, is the bride's walk down song.
Oh, if you mess that up, bro.
Yeah, if you mess that up, they remember that because then they're like, okay, well, nothing else is going to go right. You messed up my song. You could do everything else right for the rest of the day. You can do everything else right for the rest of the night. You could save a person from choking to death. It doesn't make a difference.
And here's the thing: the only person that really would know would be
It's
her.
the bride.
But nobody else would know.
If the song got messed up, no, not unless. Hear me out on this. Hear me out. Unless you're playing a song from YouTube or Spotify because it's a cover they sent you, and what just happened right there, man?
Migraine. It just popped in my head when you said YouTube. Migraine. Oh,
Hold on. You're playing a song from YouTube or Spotify, something like that. And right in the middle of the ceremony song, they're walking down, and you hear, you can save 15% or less from Progressive. Bundle your car insurance with Progressive.
that happened at a wedding. Because I made a Facebook post the other day, and one of my photographers had put in there that had happened at one of her weddings.
I would die, dude.
I would crawl under a rock. Well, actually, they'd probably be like, it'll be over in a minute,
Yeah.
and just keep going.
Yeah, like, I mean, right in the middle of it, she's walking down. You can save 15 minutes or less if you switch to Progressive.
I thought it was Geico. Well, if it, but yeah, that's. But you know the sad part about it?
It happens.
It wouldn't ruin them.
No,
It
but
would ruin us.
that everybody would know. But if it's something simple like not hitting the cue for the bride or playing it at the wrong start point, that's different. Only they would know. But that one is something they would know. Oh, I'm gonna get a better one.
Or when it's time to walk out.
Check this out. And they're getting ready to do this. So now Ladies and gentlemen, and now the mic is cutting in and out during the ceremony. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they'll remember that.
They remember.
Everybody remember that. Everybody. That's how it goes.
Thank you for today and our bride and groom.
Yeah.
Who gives this bride? Oh wait,
There you go. Oh, and here's the next one. You ready? You ready?
but it
'Cause
sounded good when I did the sound check.
This has happened to me before. In almost, I'm gonna be at 300 weddings in January. No lie. And in 5 years, 300 weddings in January.
Man,
And
bounce on that. Man.
my man's. And in one wedding I had, and just one, in the first dance, the song cut right out. The reason why, I had it prepared, downloaded everything, got to the wedding, coordinator steps to me and says, hey, let me see your songs. I showed her the songs. She said, oh, you got the wrong version. I was like, what the heck? I went over this.
How did you?
I said, okay.
Okay.
I went ahead, used the Wi-Fi on the venue, and I downloaded the version she said was the right version. The song didn't download all the way. So now when I turn the Wi-Fi off, just to make sure that a phone call or something doesn't come through while I'm playing on the iPad, which has happened before, by the way.
It wasn't done.
It wasn't done. So the song started playing. But again, I was prepared, and then I was not prepared because somebody changed the script on me on the day of. Mm-hmm. You see where I'm going with this?
Oh, yeah.
And the song cut off right in the middle of the first dance. If it was luckily enough that I didn't have it also on my turntables, on the laptop, I wouldn't have pulled it off.
Yeah.
So there was a lag for like about 10 seconds. Oh, my gosh. Find it, pull it up, drop it right in.
Boom.
It was embarrassing, but it wasn't something that, I mean, like, if that had been the bride's walkout song, I would have been practically doomed for the night.
Yeah.
This was the first dance. I made it through. Everything was good after that. It was one hiccup, yeah. But again, live performance. A bridezilla would have lost her mind on that.
But let me ask
She
you
was
this.
really sweet about it.
How far in the game were you when this happened? Or-
Literally, this happened about maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, okay, so it was recently.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, this is the first one that's ever happened in almost 300 weddings.
But you were prepared
I was prepared.
up until that point.
Again, if it wasn't changed on me on the day of,
You'd have been fine.
I'd have been fine. The song would have played because it was downloaded. Everything was right.
See, I had that happen when I first started. When I first started in this business, two things. Both of those things happened to me. One of the first ceremonies that I ever did, mics cut out. I'm like, what's going on? Because it was working a minute ago. Well, nobody ever told me about placement, where you need to be, where you need to put, where you need to stand. All those things that can cause interference.
Yes.
Well, I learned very quickly because I took it personal. Like, what the holy crap just happened?
Yeah.
So did my due diligence. I fixed it. Made a big investment in the ceremony system. Now, those problems, knock on wood, I don't have those anymore because I'm doing the right things. Could happen.
Yeah, because
If
you're still dealing with technology.
because you're
Stuff
still dealing.
happens.
I've had trucks go by with a CB radio,
Dude,
and you're like, "What the holy crap was that?" Come right over the speaker.
there was a blackout at a Super Bowl. So if a blackout can happen at a Super Bowl, I mean, anything can happen
Anything
anywhere.
can happen. But
But you
we
can't predict this.
We
You
do
just-
try to take as many precautions as necessary.
But that's also why I say I don't accept any changes 72 hours before a wedding because you never know what can happen when you're not prepared.
Back when this is before laptops and controllers and all this stuff, we used CDs, and I did have music on a laptop. But back in the day, we didn't actually get our music from legal sources. There was a lot of file sharing and a lot of stuff going on, LimeWires and Napsters and all this stuff. So everybody had all kinds of music. Anyway, so the groom comes up. He says, "Put this CD on. It's a mix of songs. We got a special dance." Right in the middle of the wedding. I don't know what's on it. Are you sure? Oh, yeah. Bro, I don't feel comfortable doing this because I don't know what's on this CD. It could be anything.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, just play it." I popped that CD in. It played about 45 seconds and quit. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at me like, "What's up, DJ?" I'm like,
I thought it was going to be something better. I thought it was going to be like something like, shake what your mama gave you, shake what your mama gave you.
put some Too Loud Crew on there. Get it, girl. Hey, we won't. Never mind.
No, stop. Stop it.
But but seriously though, you just gotta learn to say no sometimes on things like that.
But I mean, and I'm glad you said that. But at the end of the day, it's getting get this off the chest right away without saying something that's kind of borderline offensive. How can you really tell somebody no, even though you know you don't want to make changes within 72 hours? But again, it's a live production, so stuff happens.
It does. I guess advice would be if you change something, you better not. I mean, you got to look at it two ways. One, you got to think of what you're asking the DJ to do. You're asking him to undo what he's already done. He's probably went over his script a million times.
Yes.
He's already went over his playlist a million times. He's double-checked, triple-checked. Everything's in order. I've checked this stuff so much, I can memorize it in my sleep.
Yeah.
And then you come up the night before about 8 o'clock at night. Hey, we just got done with rehearsal. We're going to flip this and do this and do this. Meanwhile, we're right in the middle of a dance set because we have another wedding. Mm-hmm. We're trying to take care of this couple, and you're throwing changes at me. I don't have time to look at that.
It could be simple things like changing the order of the names for the introduction.
So then you get home, you're already beat, and now you have to deal with, okay, pull my laptop out, pull my sheets out. What did you want? What did you do? What do you do? Ugh, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'll deal with it in the morning. Then you deal with it in the morning. And then you forget, and then you get there, and like they forget to go over it with you, mm-hmm. and then you make an ass out of yourself because you didn't do it right. Yeah. So, anyway, with that being said, people.
This is the Spin Cycle. DJ Dudley Laundry, Reese Farnell.
What's up, people? Hope you got some good nuggets out of that. All we ask is maybe give us a thumbs up on the like button, and maybe if you have a comment, give it a comment. Like button. Oh, how about subscribing? Well, we got a lot of content.
That's right. We got a lot of content now.
Yep.
And we working. You see, we working.
We working.
We even got Spin Cycle cups now.
Bro, look at that, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
We got new mics too.
Oh, yo. Hey, we're moving on up, man. We're moving on up. I hope it sounds good. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right.